What's up, guys? I'm gonna sit down in like 2 seconds to avoid this unstabilization. I'll show you guys a little bit of where I'm at right now. This is like, I don't know how well you guys see it, but this is like a very beautiful place next to San Francisco where my mom lives. That's over there called Belvedere. That's Sausalito, and that's San Francisco. I don't know what you guys see. But anyways, I've been thinking a lot lately about my content. I made a post about this yesterday. And what direction I want to go in. Like, I feel like there's always this energy in my life when something has kind of used its time, or its time's up, I guess you could say. And I'm not saying that's what it is with astrology. I'm going to be an astrologer my whole life. I'm going to do readings my whole life. I love it. I'm passionate about it. I think it can change the world. It can change people. It's that powerful. Okay, I'm sitting down. I'm good. But I'm thinking, what direction do I want to take my stuff? And, as I was thinking about that, I was kind of also thinking, like, how do I want my content to be seen by people? Like, what do I want to say? And I got to, I want to say, what the most important thing is, right? Like, from my heart, because I have different parts. We all have different parts. I have the Pisces part, and then I have that Leo-Sag part. The Leo-Sag part is the part that comes out when I'm, with my college friends, and I'm, engaging, just having fun, and just, maybe partying a little bit, which I don't do that often anymore, very rare. But even just in general, the fire comes out. But the Pisces side is what does that side want to say? Because that side I feel like is needed more. I think on the shade, it's so hot. And, I don't want to be that cliche, hippie sounding guy. Look at that backdrop. But really, it's just very simple. I think during these times right now, I see so much division that's happening. That's the worst part of COVID. Let's go over here so you got the backdrop. That's the worst part of it is that people are getting so triggered and so pissed off at each other that it's actually killing unity, killing relationships and stuff, right? And that makes me fucking sad. And I even had this come up earlier today where a friend of mine messaged me something that was I felt myself be oh no, she's not right, because I know everything about the vaccine and about this and that and this and that and that and this and blah blah blah. But I thought about it, I was man, why? You don't know. All you know is what works for you. And the most important thing is just to hold love, you don't have to say I love you and hug everyone. But just have empathy, have respect and empathy for other people during these times. Because the worst thing that can happen is a separation of people that gets more and more distant because of whatever the fuck this COVID thing is, So that's my very basic message is the importance of just kind of cooling off and taking a step back before you engage in a crazy way. And by crazy, I mean just a really intense, fiery, impulsive reaction about your opinion on all this. Because really, every side makes sense in a way. And when you enter confirmation bias into it, that means that you're going to consistently go towards information that you already believe in. Some people that don't believe in astrology say that astrology is a form of confirmation bias, and that if you believe in astrology, you're just always going to just go towards more content that's about astrology and that's not anti-astrology. It could be seen as true, but astrology is actually true. So whatever. But yeah. So that's my basic message is just that think more about people and their hearts, and have empathy for someone where they're at. If someone, for example, if you think someone has a crazy view, or a view that's the opposite of yours about the vaccine, can you find any humor in that? Can you? I try to find humor in everything, at least lightness. Can you find lightness? It's such a high energy humor, because you literally can take the most serious and tense subjects, and yeah, sometimes they're not funny and it's not always appropriate, and sometimes you just have to have respect and put your head down. But can you find humor? Can you find love? Can you find compassion? Can you find just understanding, trying to understand and imagine that person's life experiences, that led them to think the way they think, right? I don't claim to be positive with anything about any of the shit that's going on in the world. That's why I usually don't talk about it. I'm just here for the ride. And we're all just here for the ride. You know, we're all just part of this fucked up thing that happened to all of us, which is kind of uniting us and connecting us if you think about it. I'm very optimistic, and I do think that this is going to connect us even more in the long term, and we're going to look back on it as something that connected humanity, because everyone, like when people start really traveling and stuff, I guess some people are traveling, but you know, when people are traveling and the world is, you know, it's always going to be different, but when the world is somewhat more normal, it's almost like a war, right? It's like the post-war world has so much more compassion, because everyone, you can get in a fight with someone and you can just also look at that person and be like, man, this motherfucker, this person, sorry, I say motherfucker too much, this person went through the same shit I went through, maybe worse, you know, like we all went through it. I think it's going to bring beautiful art. I think it's going to strengthen humans. It's just difficult to see, what's the saying I always say? The teacher is always quiet during the test. Teacher being God, obviously. And that's kind of what it is right now, guys. How can you keep your hearts open and take your time? Self-care. Try to self-care. I know some people have life situations with kids, jobs, all that, where it makes it really hard to do that. And I have compassion and love for everyone that's in that situation. You know, having COVID myself, I just like can't stop thinking about, okay, I can stop thinking about it, but I thought about many, many times, like, man, like my amount of like privilege I have is ridiculous. Like that I have my own floor. Like my mom doesn't even have to come down here. Like what if I lived in a one bedroom with all of my family, you know, my grandma, all my brothers, my sister, like in this tiny spot, and like I had COVID. Like that would just be so fucking sad, and they'd all get it. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the main message, is just like get that Piscean, you know, one love, full compassion. Try to walk a mile in different people's shoes if you don't agree with them. And you know, people are not going to agree with you, but stand in your truth. And also don't fall into that like lower, I call it like lower Sagittarian energy, where like you feel like you know the truth, like your truth is so powerful and so fiery that you have to throw it on other people. Like everyone has their own version of it, and we just have to accept that right now there's different versions of the truth that exist, and different people subscribe to different versions of them, but there's only one love. I sound like such a fucking hippie. But like it's true. Like love is an energy. It's a word that's been played out. I wish there was a different word. Dragoste, amour, whatever. Like these words are more pretty than love. Iubire, Romanian. Iubire, dragoste. Prettiest language. Amor. Anyways, these are words that we should just repeat, and yeah, just stick with those. Fuck the other shit. Take your day, take each day one day at a time. And I think that's it, guys. I'm not sure who needed to hear that. I'm not sure how many views this will get, because IGTV destroys me. But if you made it to the end of this video, let me know in the comments, because I love you. Well, I love everyone. But let me know if you, because I really do need to hear these encouragements, because I get such few views on these now. Like, IG does not show this to my followers. And I used to like send these out. Maybe I will send this one out. I haven't sent a video out in so long, but I don't like spamming people, you know? I don't like that. But at the same time, if I have like a important message, like I want people to see it. So it's kind of a catch-22, just like this whole world is right now. Perfect ending. All right, guys, love you all. Let me know in the comments what you think. And I hope this is helpful to at least one person. If that's more than one, cool, even better. Also, final PS, if you guys haven't known by now, I have what's called the Cosmos community. We've been doing it for close to a year. It's now, it used to be bi-weekly Zoom meetings. Now it's once every 3 weeks. And lots of lovely people in there talking about astrology, different topics like that, kind of a spiritual community. All over the world. I think we have 13 or 14 different countries that represented, around 40 something people. meetings aren't that big, not usually, especially lately. Like there's been less people showing up, but I really want to get going and get it good, because it's a beautiful kind of escape from reality, a place to kind of like, you know, connect with like-minded people, especially in this world where so many of us are just like little islands on our own, where no one else around us believes in what we believe in, and then we're, you know, able to connect with these people and kind of make us feel a little less fucking nuts. So that's it, guys. Much love. And I just realized I probably should have faced the sun for the lighting in this video, but I'll get better. I'm working on all this stuff, guys. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Ciao.